Thanks everybody for gathering this morning. Today's our 30th anniversary at Paper Transport, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we got started, kind of who we are and what we do. Lenny and Joan came in this morning, and Joan reminded me that it was in November of 1989 that they got the call from the Grimsley family about the opportunity to start up Paper Transport, and in 3 months they made that happen. And on February 5th of 1990, they had 3 trucks, and those 3 trucks delivered 3 loads that day, and they got the company started. And there's some unique things about Lenny and Roger that have made us successful over the years. Lenny's background was running a private fleet, and when you run a private fleet, you've got your core company, that's your main customer, and you deliver service. That's what you do. And Roger was a truck driver. Roger was an owner-operator. He knew about the life of a truck driver, and he knew the struggles that the drivers faced, and that's what he cared about. And those 2 qualities working together is what's truly made Paper Transport great. And it's the values that Roger and Amy and Lenny and Joan shared as well, that value of hard work and that value about caring and taking care of people. And so if we look back 30 years, I remember one time Lenny had told me he thought when Paper Transport started, if we ever got to like 20 trucks, that would really be great if we could get there. I think we've surpassed that a little bit. We bought 20 trucks last week, for crying out loud. And then when Lenny came in this morning, I asked him, what were your goals when you started Paper Transport? And he told me a story that I never heard before that I thought was amazingly powerful. And sometimes, in your lives, you do these quirky little things. Maybe you don't, but guys like Lenny and I do. We do these quirky little things, and years later they become a really, really big deal. When Lenny got his first computer that he needed a password for, the password was 478978. Completely irrelevant, except that if you look on a phone keypad, if you look up those 6 digits, the letters on those digits are GPTWPT. That stands for Great Place to Work, Paper Transport. So I'm not sure when Lenny got that computer with the password, but that was a long time ago. And that was his mission from day one. And that's the mission that I fully believe today, is to build a great place to work. So that's pretty neat. And when you set your mind to something like that, that's how you achieve it year after year after year. So that's what we do as a company, but that's really what every company should be doing, right? But what does Paper Transport as a trucking company, what does a trucking company do? So I want to share a story, and when you get to be an old guy, you share the same stories over and over. Now it's 3 years since I've told this story, so it's not too bad. When I start telling them like once a week, then you can fire me. And because last time I stood up here and told the story, I had a prop, I had the red hat. I felt that I had to have a prop today. So today's story is the toilet paper story, and it's one of my favorite stories. It came about 7 or 8 years ago, and I was at a conference, and it was a trucking conference, and the speaker said, you've got to have a higher purpose in what you do. Whatever your job is, you've got to have a higher purpose. And I thought, this is great, because I've been working at Paper Transport for several years, and I really struggled with what our higher purpose was, because we deliver a lot of toilet paper. That's not very exciting. We all know what happens to toilet paper. It's just not glamorous. So he goes on and he tells this story, and he says, imagine that your trucking company this week is delivering a load of Gatorade. And that load of Gatorade is being delivered to a small town. And in that small town this weekend, they're having a Little League softball tournament. And it's going to be like 85 degrees. So that load of Gatorade makes a big difference for those kids playing softball or baseball that weekend. He goes, but it's not just about ball. He goes, in that small town, that tournament is where everybody in that town gathers that weekend. And everybody is there, and that's part of that community. And you as the trucking company delivering that load of Gatorade, you're part of that community. And when he got done telling the story, the first thing that went through my head was, that damn Gatorade is so much cooler than toilet paper. And just to give you an idea, it really bothered me, like for days. I'm back in Green Bay after the conference, and it's 4 or 5 days later, and it's still bothering me. And then it finally occurred to me. Do you know what the largest corporation in the world is? It's Walmart. Do you know what the #1 selling product is at Walmart? It's toilet paper. In the last 30 days, how many of you have drinking a Gatorade? I haven't. I have a couple in the summer, but I haven't had one in 6 months. In the last 24 hours, how many of you use toilet paper? So it occurred to me then that we really do make a difference. What trucking companies do every day is we pick this country up and we deliver it back to itself. That's what our drivers do. You know, you have these politicians in Washington like to pound their fists and think they make a difference, but they never lift a finger for this country. They never lift a finger for this economy. And our drivers every day lift up truckloads, and we deliver them, and we keep this country moving forward, and we keep things happening in this country. So that's what our higher purpose is as a trucking company. And then it's really Lenny's purpose so many years ago. GPTWPT, great place to work at Paper Transport. Thank you, Lenny and Joan, for everything you did over the years to make this company what it is, so that we can be here today and work together. So, to celebrate our 30th anniversary, we finally got the delivery of our trucks, 1,400 of them. So we've got cases of these in the back. We'll roll these out, and everybody gets a truck here today. So thank you guys for everything you do. That's all I got. We'll roll out the boxes of trucks. Thanks everybody for calling in.